What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex. I am back with yet another video. In this video, guys, I'm going to talk about the state of this team. I'll be talking about the expectations for this team moving forward. Before I get started on that, anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Now, needless to say, the Las Vegas Raiders have had a very disappointing start to this 2022 NFL season, as their record has reflected it. 1-4 heading into the bye week after losing a bunch of very close games. The last game against Kansas City was a real heartbreaker, which in reality, you look back at it, there was plenty of chances for this team to win. You look against the Arizona Cardinals, we're up 20 points. That should be a game that we should have ran away with. We let them back into the game. We end up blowing a 20-point lead. Against Tennessee, there were so many chances in the red zone where we could have scored touchdowns, and we should have won that game as well. Against the Chargers too, Derek Carr is very rusty, threw 3 interceptions, and we still only lost by 5 points. But at the end of the day, there's no moral victories when you go into the NFL. You have to make the plays to win, and we have not done that this season. Before the season began, my expectations on this team was I predicted an 11-6 record. I thought we were going to make the playoffs, and my ultimate end goal was I wanted us to win a playoff game. It's been crazy that this team has not won a playoff game in over 20 years, and in all my years of being a Raiders fan, I have yet to experience what a playoff win feels like. So needless to say, I have been starving for a playoff win, to be a competent team, a contender in the National Football League quite some time now, just like the rest of you guys. Now, when it comes to our schedule, the NFL definitely gave us a tough start to the season. You look at these first 5 weeks, these are all very good teams we have faced. I thought before the season started, you know what, if we can just get out of the stretch alive, if we can just get out of the stretch, at the very least 2-3, this team should be in a very good shape, as the schedule in the second half of the season definitely softens up. But unfortunately, this team has not hit that mark, being 1-4. As I mentioned earlier, we are 1-4. We've lost very close games. All of our games that we have lost has been a one-possession game, and like I said, there's no moral victories in the NFL, but at least this lets us know that this team is close. But ultimately, we have not been able to execute in crucial situations, and that has been the difference in our record. Now, with all this being said, with us being 1-4, do I think the NFL season for us is over? What should be our expectations for this team going forward? Look, after thinking it over, I'm going to say no, it's not over the season. We still have a chance to get back into the mix, but I will say it's going to be an uphill battle just due to this big hole that we have dug ourselves in. I also will say I don't think we were going to win the AFC West at this point. Really, our best shot would be to get a run, get back into the mix, and sneak into the wild card spot, which, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care if we win the AFC West or wild card. As long as you get in the playoffs, anything can happen at that point. But in order for this team to turn it around, to get back into the mix for a playoff spot, we are going to be obligated to go on a winning stretch in the second half of the season. And although the schedule isn't as tough, look, at the end of the day, this is the National Football League. Anything can happen on a given Sunday. And also with this team, I mean, we have not learned how to be consistent yet as a team, and also we haven't been able to close out these close games, and there's no game that you can just look at and, you know, say for a guarantee that the Raiders are going to win this game. Also, another one of my main concerns starts with the head coach of this team, Josh McDaniels. Not only have I not been a huge fan of him at certain points in this season when it comes to just the play calling, there's definitely been some things that I've liked that he's brought to this offense, but at the end of the day, it's not only just some questionable play calling in crucial situations, but also I question whether or not Josh McDaniels will have the ability to motivate this team and have them look each other in the eyes and have them really believe in each other that they can turn around this season. Because when it comes to that, I think you really need to command a certain type of respect and command and leadership from your head coach. And you look at his resume as a head coach dating back to when he was with Denver, it has not been good at all. Also with this team, when you consistently lose games, as we did to start the season, 3 straight games, typically good teams don't lose back-to-back games, and nonetheless do they lose 3 straight games. Usually when teams lose games, they develop bad habits that can linger throughout the whole season, and they can be very difficult to get rid of. But overall, I think this team, in order for us to turn things around, we need head coach Josh McDaniels to lead this team. And also, this team needs to stop shooting themselves in the foot with lack of concentration, lapses in the games. We also need to adjust a little bit more quicker on defense. And that starts with Patrick Graham. Even though I've liked overall what he's done with his defense, there has been times where he takes way too long to make the adjustments. Against Kansas City in the red zone, he wasn't able to find the proper adjustment to stop Travis Kelce, the one guy we knew he was going to go to. Also, we got to fix our issue with lack of discipline and the penalties. And most importantly, we need to learn how to win close games. We need to learn how to close out teams, because let's be honest, most of our games are going to come down to the last possession, and we need to learn how to make those crucial plays to win those games. Now, these next games coming off the bye week will be huge for this team. We have the Texans at home. After that, we're going to be on the road against the New Orleans Saints, then against Jacksonville, and then we come back at home against the Indianapolis Colts. For us to get back into the mix, I think we really have to win at least 3 out of these 4 games. Ideally going 4-0. We'll just have to see on that. Also, when it comes to our division, we only have 3 divisional games left, and we're going to have to win at least 2 of those games. Once again, ideally all 3 of those. And I think that's a real possibility, just given to the fact that Denver is not as strong as a team that I was expecting and anticipating for this season. I thought we were gonna split against every team in the AFC West. I thought we were gonna go 3-3. With the Broncos looking how they're looking, there's a chance that we could sweep the Broncos, and we have to get revenge on the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. It'll be very devastating if we get swept by one of those teams, and not only that, if it comes down to the end of the season where we have a similar record or have the exact same record, well, they're gonna have the tiebreaker over us, so we have to win at least 2 more divisional games. But ultimately, we need this team to turn it around, and turn it around quickly before it's nearly impossible for us to come back. Hopefully this bye week helps this team get healthy for the second half of the season. I will say, I just saw the news that Nate Hobbs' hand has been broken, so I don't know how long he's going to be out. That's a huge blow for us if he's going to be out for an extended period of time. But ultimately, hopefully this team can also use this bye week as an extra time to regroup as a unit, come out disciplined and ready to start stacking up some wins in the second half of the season. Overall, my expectations for this team, I would say the absolute ceiling for this team, I see it being 10-7, 9-8, somewhere in there. And in my book, that would be just sneaking into a wild card. And then after that, if you can just make the playoffs, anything can happen on a given Sunday. So that would be the ceiling. Let's also talk about the basement for this team. The basement for this team, and I hope this is not the scenario because this is the worst position we could be in on a team, is I think we would be 6-11, 7-10, somewhere in that range. And I really hope this is not the scenario for this team, because it's almost like a wasted year in a sense. I mean, you're basically in no man's land. You're not good enough to compete in the playoffs in the National Football League, but you're not bad enough to get one of the top players in the NFL draft, and then have the flexibility to change up quite a few things for the future of this team. So that'd be a terrible spot for the Raiders to be in. Also, you look at the amount of players we brought in with Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones, the money, the draft picks that were invested going into this team. For us to just be a mediocre 7-10, that would just be terrible for this team. So I hope that's not the case. Let's see how this team responds off the bye week. The way we see this team coming off of the bye week will tell us a lot about the locker room we have, the leadership we have, and overall what kind of team we can expect for the rest of this NFL season. But Raider Nation, let me know in the comment section down below what your expectations are for this season. Do you guys think the season is over? Let me know in the comment section down below. With that being said, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raiders related content like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.